Here we are in Lisbon to ride the new Husqvarna Svartpilen 701. Last year we had the Vitpilen, I think, which was the white arrow, which was more sporty. The Svartpilen is the black arrow. They put a more upright dirt bikey handlebar on it, and you just sit more upright on it. It's much more comfortable as a result of that. In fact, it's got some fantastic ergonomics, as a matter of fact. We rode it like crazy all over Portugal. And the seat, when you look at it, it's not very thick at all, but it's really quite comfortable. The seat's really nice, and the bars come up to meet you. It's my kind of bike. I have to say, a couple weeks ago we were in Japan to ride the new Suzuki Katana, which is kind of a GSXS 1000 with new bodywork on it. And this is basically a KTM 690 Duke with new bodywork on it, more or less, with a retuned ECU. And I have to say I have no complaints about that at all, because the little 690 Duke was a big fan of that thing. And this is just a cooler version of it. Cooler being your own personal thing, you know. I think we were talking about it before. Maybe some people just don't want to buy an orange bike that looks like a KTM, and they want something a little bit more subdued. Like my kid just bought his first car, and he bought a Volvo. It's not what I would have expected, but he's a hipster, and he likes like a black Volvo wagon. This is kind of a black Volvo wagon version of a 690 Duke, which is a great bike. A lot of people think, you know, it's a single. Maybe they don't want a single because they think they're going to be buzzy and not very powerful. But this one is rated at about half of what the new Katana was. They rated it 75 horsepower at the crankshaft. I think most of the ones we put on the dyno are 65, 68 horsepower. So, you know, it's rated about half the horsepower of a Katana, but it goes great. It's got plenty of power. We jumped on some speed for as long as you'd want to. And in fact, it's a single. There's a counterbalancer on the crankshaft, and there's a counterbalancer on the camshaft too. It runs smoother than a lot of twins. It's a really good thing to ride. It's a Euro 4 right now. They'll be going to Euro 5 next year, but they say that's only going to involve a change to the exhaust system. But it's a total ride-by-wire bike, and the fueling is excellent. It's better than the Katana. When you roll it on, it comes on nice and smooth. The cool thing about a single too, there's plenty of torque right off the bottom, plenty of torque right in the middle, so I mean for riding around the city. The other thing, it doesn't weigh half of a Katana, but they rated it like 158.5 kilograms, which is about 350 pounds, just less than that, with an empty gas tank. The fuel tank's a little small. It's 12 liters or 3 gallons. So, but overall, it feels like, even though it only weighs 120 pounds less than a Katana, it feels about like half of one of those. So it's a really lightweight, flickable thing. When you pick it up off the side stand, it's super easy to pick up. We rode over some pretty gnarly roads today. It's got 150 millimeters of travel at both ends, 6 inches at both ends, of really good. The 43 millimeter fork is all-way adjustable. The shock is adjustable for rebound damping. And it goes over torn up pavement. Like, it's very comfortable for being as lightweight and small as it is. Only got one brake and one Brembo caliper up front, but it's all it needs because the bike is so light. It's got plenty of stopping power. The only thing you could complain about would be the instrument panel, which is this little round LCD thing. It's pretty hard to read and lots of light, and the numbers are pretty small. But so it looks like the final price is in the U.S. is going to be $11,999. I don't know why they don't just say $12,000, but so it's even going to be like the same price as the new Katana. Will be about that price figure too. So, I mean, just different ways to achieve the same goal. You can have 150 horsepower and a bigger bike and extra weight, or you can get around town. I kind of lean towards sometimes less is more. This thing's going to get really good gas mileage, probably at least 50 or 60 miles to a gallon, I believe most of our 690 Dukes have done in the past. So just an economical, lightweight. It's got an 18-inch front Pirelli MT60, so you could go down dirt roads on this. They don't want you. They kind of say they don't want to market it as a dual sport because they don't want people to go off jumps on it. But you could have fun on this little bike off-road too. dirt roads, not off-road, but dirt roads. So yeah, if you've always thought about getting a really sophisticated single, something a little bit different that nobody else has, and that's what the hipsters are into. They're crawling all over Lisbon. And I love the 690 Duke, and I could be perfectly happy with this bike too. It's a very, very nice thing. They changed it up a little bit from the one they showed at the show. They put this this number plate looking thing on the side. And lots of people aren't crazy about these things here. Suzuki did that same thing on the new Katana too, which I keep coming back to it, I guess. They put that there. Husqvarna already has a piece though to remove this, and the bolt holes are already here to stick the turn signals and license plate up here. That's in their accessory catalog already, and that's going to save however many, probably 8 pounds off the back of the bike back there, and it'll look very clean. And that's supposed to be flat tracker inspired, and that's kind of what it looks like. So maybe it's like a mini Indian FTR 1200 at the same time, to compare it to a different bike that it's not anything like, but kind of is. So anyway, that's the name of the tune here. The Svartpilen is kind of a totally unique kind of a little motorcycle, and if you like the way it looks, and if you got $12,000, you'll be really impressed. If you're worried about buying a single, you shouldn't be, because this thing makes lots of power. It's a tried and true motor, and it's a lot of fun. So I think that covers most of it. I won't hear any complaints about this video being too short. But if you want any more information, of course, go over to where you always do, Motorcycle.com, to read the full, complete test with all the specifications and everything. But that's the name of that tune for right now. See you next time. Over and out.